Hello, Primary 2. How are you? I hope all of you are fine. Today is lesson 30, follow a clock. Last time we take that. If we found the long hand on 6, it tells us it's half past the time. And if the long hand be on 12, it tells us the exact time. So now we will take if the long hand on 3. That tells us that we read the time as quarter past. Quarter past. So what is the time here? The short hand on 11 and the long hand on 3. So it's quarter past 11. It's quarter past 11. We read the time like this if we found the long hand on 3. And the short hand for sure tell us the hour, which is 11. We write it here. Look here, the long hand on 9. What does this tell us? It tells us it's a quarter to the next hour. Like, look here at the short hand, it's on 5 and the long hand on 9. So it tells us that it's a quarter to be 5. So it's a quarter to 5. The time here, it's a quarter to be 5. So it's a quarter to 5. What is the time here again? The long hand on 9. When the long hand at 9, the time read as quarter to. The time read as quarter to. The next, look at these notes. The quarter of hour has how many minutes? We take that an hour has 60 minutes and half an hour has 30 minutes. So quarter of an hour has 15 minutes and 3/4 of an hour has 45 minutes, which means when the long hand on 9, it will be 45 minutes. And when the long hand on 3, it will be 15 minutes. I know this is difficult, but please listen to the lesson more than one time. Okay, here is half past equal 30 minutes. We take it before. Quarter past 15. And quarter to 45. Don't forget these notes. Answer activity 2 together in your booklet. Tell the time. Okay, the first one, the long hand on 3. All of them almost the long hand on 3. So this activity tell us that the time here is quarter past, then look at the short hand and tell the time. The first one, it's quarter past 5. And here is also the long hand on 3 and the short hand on 10. So it's a quarter past 10. The next one, primary 2, it's a quarter past what? 12. Excellent. And the next one, quarter past 4. It's quarter past 4. I'm sorry, it's a mistake. Right? Quarter past 4. Okay, the next one, it's quarter past 6. Because the short hand on 6. And here it's quarter past 11. Here is the time when the long hand on 3. We say quarter past and tell the time which tell us the short hand. Okay, primary 2, let's answer activity 3. Here we want to convert the time to digital form, which means we will look at the short hand first and write the time. And look at the long hand and see how many minutes. If the long hand on 3, it will be 15 minutes. If the long hand on 6, it will be 30 minutes. And if the long hand on 9, it will be 45 minutes. And finally, if the long hand on 12, it will be 0 minutes because it tells us the exact time. Let's answer together to understand. The first one, the shorthand on 2. So it's 2 and 15 because the long hand on 3. It's a quarter of an hour. The next one, the shorthand on 8, so it's 8 and the long hand on 6, 8 and 30 minutes because it's a half of an hour. The next one, the shorthand on 5 and the long hand on 9. So it's 5 and 45 minutes. Here we tell the time before the shorthand. Look here, the shorthand between 5 and 6. So we will write 5 and 45 minutes. We take the smallest number. Okay, look here, it's exactly 8. So we write 8 and 0. The next one, primary 2, the shorthand on 7, so we will write 7 at first, then the long hand on 6, so it's 30 minutes. So it's 7:30. Excellent, primary 2. Keep going with me. Okay, here, what is the time? 4 and 15. Excellent. And the next one, 3 or 4? 3. Excellent. We take the smallest number. If the shorthand between two numbers, we take the smallest one. It's 3 and what? 30 minutes. The next one, it's 12 and how many minutes? 45. Excellent, primary 2. To the next one. Here is, what is the time? 12 or 1? We take who? We take 12. 12 and 30 minutes because the long hand on 6, we agreed that. If the long hand on 6, it will be 30 minutes. And if the long hand on 9, it will be what? 45 minutes. And if the long hand on 3, it will be 15 minutes. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is 4 and 45. Excellent. And the next is 11 and 15. And the last one here is exactly 5, so it's 5 and 0. Okay, the next one, where is the shorthand? On 9. And where is the long hand? On 3. So, can you tell me, primary 2, it's 9 what? 9:15. Excellent. And the next one is 1 and how many minutes? Who can tell me? 1 and 45 minutes. Excellent. The next one is exactly 11 because the long hand on 12. So it's 11 o'clock, which means 11 and 2 zeros. Okay, the last one in this activity is both of them on 6. So it's 6 and 30. Don't forget the long hand on 6, which means 30 minutes. Okay, the next one is the reflect question. Right, how can you use reading time in your life? How? What can you use in your life by reading time? For example, I can use reading time in organizing my study hours per day. For example, I study 2 hours per day. And here is your homework. Now we have finished from our lesson today. Focus in this lesson and watch it more than one time if you didn't understand, and send me the homework on Edmodo. Bye bye. Bye bye. See you next term, primary 2. Thank you.